This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
Thanks for joining us here for the news at noon. I'm Meredith Barrick, joined by meteorologist Todd Clausen, and we're doing it all over again. We're going to have the same weather as we had yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. A little bit of cloud cover, temps sitting in the 30s. That's pretty much all people need to know.
There you go. We're all done. Yeah, you know, we're just stuck in this pattern here. We haven't seen the sun since last week, and we're hopeful for a little bit of sunshine this afternoon, but I think those chances are dwindling here as we look at things with the clouds in place. Temperatures today are a little bit warmer than they were yesterday, though, so that's at least some good news, and I think that's showing that these clouds are starting to thin just a little bit. Yesterday, all we got up to was 34 degrees, already up to 35 at this noon hour. Sullivan at 40 degrees, 37 in Bloomington, still a little cooler to the north at 32 degrees in Peru. So here's another view off towards the west, and you see the clouds, but you also see a little bit of brighter skies here and there. And what's happening is we have a northeasterly wind, and that's a drier wind direction. And as you walked out the door this morning, we didn't have that big time damp feeling like we did all week. That means the atmosphere is starting to dry up a little bit. That's why I'm hopeful for not a lot in the way of sunshine this afternoon, but some filtered sunshine through the clouds that will still remain in place. As that happens, temperatures should go up another couple degrees here for your afternoon high, and then we'll hold pretty steady as we work our way into the evening hours. Tomorrow morning's commute could be tricky across the area with a little bit of light snow moving in. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thanks. This midday, firefighters are still on the scene of a hazmat situation at a plant on the near north side that has forced the evacuation of a preschool. Firefighters were called to Major Tool and Machine at East 19th and Sheldon Street around 8 this morning. They found a barrel filled with chemicals burning outside. The Indianapolis Fire Department says the barrel contained epoxy, and right now they aren't sure what caused it to catch fire. Zion Church Preschool was initially ordered to shelter in place, but 12 students there were later relocated to 42nd Street and College Avenue.
Decided that this year I'm only going to do 5 races. We're going to start here at this place. I'm doing the ovals only.
It will be the final laps, at least as a primary driver, for a fan favorite here in Indianapolis and for our longtime colleague here at RTV6. He has been part of open wheel racing in the U.S. for more than half his life. But Tony Kanaan says after this year, you won't be seeing much of him on IndyCar tracks. Just about an hour ago, TK announced that the 2020 season will be his last as a primary driver in the IndyCar series. He says he tried to get enough sponsorship support to where he could run all of the races and not just the 5 oval tracks. But he is still looking forward to getting behind the wheel for AJ Foyt Racing and for whatever comes after this year.
Excited for the future, you know, the unknown, what's going to happen, opportunities that will come, and we'll see. I mean, still have a job to do. I still get to race in this place, and, you know, 5 more, and we'll see what's going to happen.
Kanaan says there is always a chance he could come back and run future Indy 500s. He'll be celebrating this season on social media with hashtag TK's Last Lap. You can see more on Tony's incredible career right now at theindychannel.com. And we'll have much more on TK tonight on the news at 5 and 6 right here on RTV6. The Northwest Hendricks School Corporation is moving to fire a teacher accused of sexual misconduct with a student. This is a story Call 6 Investigates has been following since last year. Tri-West High School teacher and coach Tyler Bruce is charged with child seduction and obstruction of justice. Police arrested Bruce after an 8-month investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct with the student. Parents and community members tell Call 6 they want the entire school board to resign because they allowed Bruce to stay on staff and get paid despite knowing about the allegations for months.
It really is momentum to seek the truth. Ultimately, everyone has to be held accountable for their actions.
Hopefully, people will understand why we've been so passionate about trying to get some changes made.
Prosecutors also filed a criminal charge against former Tri-West High School principal Adam Benner for failing to properly report the allegations. We were unable to reach Benner for comment. Bruce has denied the allegations through his attorney. The Johnson County Sheriff's Office is showing off a new piece of technology they say will help them investigate scenes faster. To put it simply, this new Faro 3D scanner will make the investigations that happen in Johnson County even more accurate. While the machine is getting a 360-degree view of an area, it's also taking thousands upon thousands of tiny measurements that investigators need. Plus, investigators are also now able to revisit digital replicas of crash and crime scenes and get a real sense of what the scene looked like even after the area has been cleaned up.
In the past, if we wanted to go and get some measurements that maybe we didn't get the first time, we would have to go and rely on our paint marks that we made, speaking of a crash scene specifically, and then we could take measurements off that again. But obviously at that point, the vehicles would already be towed, the debris would be cleaned up, and the area would be drastically different than when we were actually there.
The Faro 3D scanner costs around $60,000. Barnhart says they didn't have to use the money from their own budget after getting a grant from the county commissioner's office. Senators are wrapping up the question and answer phase of President Trump's impeachment trial. It comes before a key vote is expected tomorrow on whether new witnesses will be called, such as former National Security Advisor John Bolton. ABC's Mona Kosar-Abdi tells us most Republicans claim they've heard enough.
As the House managers and White House lawyers continue to field questions from senators in President Trump's impeachment trial,
I sent a question to the desk.
Lawmakers in the upper chamber are gearing up for a pivotal vote that could change the course of the proceedings. At the center of the debate is former National Security Advisor John Bolton.
I'm no fan of John Bolton, although I like him a little more than I used to. But you should hear from him. You should want to.
Bolton this week underscoring Democrats' calls for new witness testimony after a manuscript of his unpublished book reportedly claims President Trump told Bolton he was withholding aid from Ukraine to pressure the country to investigate the Democrats and the Bidens. In a surprise move, the president's lawyers made a number of legal arguments that have raised eyebrows, stating the president can solicit information from foreign governments and a seemingly broad expansion of presidential powers.
And if a president does something which he believes will help him get elected in the public interest, that cannot be the kind of quid pro quo that results in impeachment.
It's not campaign interference for credible information about wrongdoing to be brought to light.
But the head of the Federal Election Commission says accepting foreign assistance in an election is a crime, and the FBI director says if a campaign receives an offer, they should contact his agency. Back in June, President Trump disagreed.
The FBI director is wrong.
The attention now shifting to 4 undecided Republican senators who could side with Democrats on witnesses. If witnesses are allowed, the president's attorneys have their own list.
I want Adam Schiff. I want Hunter Biden. I want Joe Biden. I want the whistleblower. If we get anybody we want, we will be here for a very long time.
The White House sent Bolton's team a letter stating he cannot publish his book as is because it contains classified information. This morning, Bolton's reps sending their own letter asking for clarification on what is classified in case he has to testify. Mona Kosar-Abdi, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
It is moving forward slowly, and prosecutors say the mountain of evidence continues to grow. Next, the latest from Court TV on the Harvey Weinstein trial. Todd.
And as you walk out the door this afternoon, look what I see down in Bloomington, shining on the rooftops of the building. A little bit of sunshine finally across central Indiana. When will the rest of us see the sun? We'll let you know coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6.
New tonight after Grey's Anatomy on ABC. This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
I'm Ted Rollins. Today on Court TV, our coverage of the Harvey Weinstein trial continues. 2 more women took the stand Wednesday telling jurors they'd been assaulted by the disgraced movie mogul. But when the day was over, Weinstein seemed upbeat, leaving the courthouse.
Is anybody coming? Went great today. The lawyers killed it.
Today's witnesses include the ex-fiancée of one of the accusers, as well as the manager of a restaurant where several of the alleged encounters took place. Also, in Pensacola, Florida, a verdict in the triple murder witchcraft trial.
We, the jury, found the defendant, Donald Hartong, guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment.
63-year-old Donald Hartung was found guilty of killing his mother and 2 half-brothers. Hartung told an informant that a Ouija board gave him the go-ahead for the murders. He is now facing the possibility of the death penalty. We'll have continuing coverage of the Weinstein trial throughout the day on Court TV. Now back to you.
Ted, thanks. You can learn more about other cases around the nation right now at courttv.com. There is nothing so-so about what happens among this team of women. How shiny stones and scissors will help determine what is seen on stage. And you may have seen The Big Shot, but if you haven't heard how Mark Boyle and Slick Leonard called it on the radio, well, we have a treat for you just ahead. But first, we are taking a live look from the IMS Pagoda. When will we see the sun again? Meteorologist Todd Clausen has your answer coming up. You're watching the news at noon on RTV6.
Keller and Keller, right now.
The city of Indianapolis is hiring some young Hoosiers for the summer. For the 5th year, the city's Employee Indy program will connect young people to jobs that will be available over the summer. The program continues to expand, and now more than 175 companies are posting job openings on the Employee Indy portal. That includes the tea shop owned by Indiana Fever legend Tamika Catchings. The woman who runs the store welcomes the help she gets from young people each and every year.
We are excited again just about being able to have the impact on the youth, to create a safe environment for people to learn, create, implement their ideas, be challenged, grow, and change.
The mayor's office says Employee Indy has connected almost 8,000 young people to summer jobs since the program began in 2016. Details matter when it comes to making intricate costumes. In an age where you can order almost anything online, there are some exceptions. Our Rafael Sanchez found a room where everything depends on needles and rolls of thread.
The sewing machine rattles while steps are rehearsed. These performers seek perfection while pins are being put in place.
There's something very relaxing about the sewing.
This is the costume shop for the Indianapolis Ballet, where crafting, cutting, and creating never seems to stop, with multiple productions on the horizon.
Many of these costumes that I'm replicating that were the original Karinskas, I don't have patterns. I'm going by pictures.
Vicki Lyris works side by side with her mother. Everyone calls her Yaya.
I love sewing, and I started sewing 9 years old, so it's a very long time.
Yaya is 90 years young, with an eye for fashion. The mother-daughter team are behind every major outfit worn on stage. Each ballet costume is personally handcrafted. Several students do help out.
Having a well-made costume that you can move in and breathe in, but also it holds you together and makes you feel your best on stage, it's really important.
You'd be amazed at how much work goes into each piece.
In this room, needles and threads weave through fabrics, like dancers glide through a routine. Both have much in common. Both seek to captivate their audiences. Neither can do it solely.
Detail and tremendous amount of time to create the magic.
Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
The team is looking at sewing a couple thousand stones for their next production on Valentine's Day weekend at the Toby Theater at Newfields.
It goes. Oladipo has it. 12 seconds to go. Long one.
Care to chime in? Can you believe that? He shot that ball.
We're still waiting.
Boom, baby.
There you go.
Boom, boom.
There you go.
Slick Leonard was overcome just like most other Pacers fans there. He had to be coaxed into his catchphrase after Victor Oladipo's improbable three saved the day for the Pacers. It was Vic's only three-pointer in his first game in more than a year, but it sent the contest into overtime, and the Pacers came out on top of the Bulls 115-106. That is just great. All right. Boom, baby. Are we seeing a little bit of sunshine?
You know, I had to search all the RTV6 Weather Now cameras across our network, and I finally found some sunshine. You didn't see it there in downtown, but it is in Bloomington as the clouds have broken apart. It's not a lot. but hey, we'll take what.
Yeah, do not adjust your screens. That is the real deal.
At this point. And I told you this was going to happen this morning, and this is what will continue to happen this afternoon. We're never going to completely clear these clouds out, but here and there they will break apart for a little bit of sunshine, and it may not last very long in your neighborhood before the clouds fill back in, but at least the skies will start to brighten just a little bit across the area. 35 degrees, that is the current temperature. Wind is out of the east right now at 5 miles per hour, and all across the area temperatures are in the 30s, and 140 on the board there at 41 in Sullivan's, 35 in Greencastle, 33 in Greenfield, 30 in Richmond, and a pair of 32s up in Tipton as well as into the Peru area. Highs today will be right around 40 in Bloomington, 36 in Indianapolis, right around 34 degrees in Peru with those mostly cloudy skies and a few peaks of sunshine here and there across the area. The brighter whites here are the thicker clouds. The darker grays is where it's starting to break apart just a little bit there towards Bloomington, but there's a lot more clouds off to our west compared to clear skies, and so that's why if you do see some sunshine, enjoy it today because the clouds win out tonight. And then this mess out here with rain and snow and wintry mix is going to be heading in our direction, and the timing honestly couldn't be worse. So this evening you're completely dry with just those increasing clouds across the area. Once we get to tomorrow, this is not a big weather maker for us, and it's not going to put down a lot of snow, but the timing is really terrible. 5:30 in the morning, this wintry mix is overspreading the area. It's probably mainly snow from Indianapolis to the north, a wintry mix down to the south during the heart of the morning commute, 8, 9 o'clock, snowing across a good portion of the area. And then it's out of here and done by about 11, 12 o'clock, and it's off into portions of Ohio. So it's a quick hitter with not a whole lot of moisture to deal with, but we're talking about potentially enough snow to create some slick spots on the roadways. It's generally going to be a half an inch to maybe an inch in spots, but I think those inch totals are going to be few and far between. It's probably more of a half inch for us, but it doesn't take a whole lot, especially during the heart of the rush hour, to slicken things up. So prepare yourself in the morning for some slick spots on the roadways, and some extra time will be needed. Once we get past the morning, though, it's pretty quiet for the rest of the day with a high temperature near 40 degrees. Lots of clouds around. Fast forward to Saturday. Another chance of a very light wintry mix early Saturday morning, but then dry, 42. And here it is. Let me get out of the way. Sunday, finally the sunshine returns with a temperature of 51 degrees, and we'll continue that sunshine and warmer temperatures into Monday when we get up to 55. But late Monday, rain will arrive. That storm system on Tuesday is mainly rain for us, but it does look to be a little more potent and could give us some decent rainfall totals. But a little bit of sunshine out there now, Meredith, and then watch out for tomorrow morning's commute. Make sure you tune in to us and Lauren and Alyssa for Good Morning Indiana. We'll have the latest time.
All right, Todd, thank you. We want to take one more look outside our Weather Now camera. Downtown view to the west. Hopefully the sunshine making its way here to downtown very soon. Coming up next, the story of a baseball fan who passed away recently and the unique goodbye she had for her favorite team. You won't want to miss it. You're watching the news at noon on RTV6.
Senior living in the heart of Carmel.
Earlier this month, Joanne DeVries passed away in East Moline, Illinois. She lived a pretty long life, 95 years of age, and according to her obituary, she was a diehard Cubs fan. Joanne's obituary talks about how she was known as the unofficial funniest old woman on Facebook, even though it says she never ventured onto the internet. And one of the last paragraphs here takes a dig at the Ricketts family, the owners of her beloved Cubs. They've been criticized by some fans for not spending a lot of money to add new players this offseason. And Joanne's obituary says that donations in her memory may be directed toward the impoverished Ricketts family of Chicago, Illinois, for purposes of assembling a near major league caliber bullpen, or to be dispersed per family wishes. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
That is pretty funny. So
yes.
I think they still need bullpen help too, so they could use it. All right, cloudy skies with a hint of sunshine here and there this afternoon, 37. Watch out for tomorrow morning for the commute. Some light snow across the area, an inch or less, and then a warming trend on Sunday. We get back into the 50s, and by Tuesday, 50 with quite a bit of rainfall heading our way.
All right, Todd, thanks, and thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. We hope to see you back here at 5. Have a great afternoon.